Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Christy Vann with VANNtastic Finances, and on this channel I teach velocity banking. So today I am working with a military family that is in a lot of credit card debt and they are ready to get rid of it. So I'm going to show two scenarios. One is just using the credit card to begin with. So you will see videos under my playlist that show credit card debt strategies. It will give you different scenarios in those videos showing you how to use your credit cards in the event that you currently have a credit score that is too low to get a line of credit. So I'm briefly going to go over how to use the credit card if that's your only line of credit. But then I'm going to show you how much faster it can go if you're using a line of credit. So let's talk about, first of all, the income this military family has is at $6,000 a month. They have a total in expenses of $4,000. Now that includes their rent, their food, car insurance, all of that stuff, okay? So $4,000 for their living expenses, and then they've got credit card payments that total $1,800. So you can see they have 7 credit cards here, the highest being $15,000 balance with a $600 a month payment. This card currently has a 16% interest rate. Now, the $15,000 credit card is their highest balance. If we were going to start using this card for the expenses, that means that you would look at your living expenses and see what it is that you can charge on a credit card. In this scenario, they can charge their car insurance at $220 a month and their food, of course, at $600 a month because grocery stores and restaurants do take credit cards. Their cash flow being at $200 a month and their monthly payment on this card at $600 a month, that means they have a total income going into this card every month of $1,620. So this is what that would look like. After the income has gone in to this credit card, their balance should be approximately $13,380. Now the car insurance is going to come out sometime during the month, as the food will come out throughout the month, right? So we may buy groceries today for $100. We may go to a restaurant tomorrow and spend $20. It just depends on when you do your shopping. So the food will come out sporadically throughout the month. Then the interest is going to be charged also on the statement date. So their balance being approximately $14,390 after all of the expenses come out. They would do it again in month 2. The income goes in. Now let's just remember here that the $600 payment has now been turned into cash flow because every time this income goes in, it's satisfying that payment. Now that payment is considered cash flow that is helping to work down this balance every month. And when we do an additional income transfer in, that is keeping the balance lower. That also helps with those interest charges. So after the month 2 income goes in, the balance is at $12,770. Then the food and the car insurance will come back out again, and notice the interest is a little bit lower, so the balance being at $13,772 at the end of the second month. That is the way that you would use a credit card for your expenses if you do not have a line of credit currently. Now what happens is you should see your credit score start going up as you're revolving the credit cards. And another thought is you can do more than one credit card at a time. You can do 2, 3, 4, 5 credit cards at a time with putting the expenses into the cards, meaning more income is going into the cards. I'm just showing on one credit card here because he only has a few items that he can actually charge throughout the month. But if you have Netflix and doctor bills and things like that that you can charge onto a credit card, then of course you can use more than this fellow is with one credit card. You can actually divide your expenses out throughout the credit cards, doing the same thing, turning these payments too into cash flow, which is going to help you to work the balances down. Now, if we move over here to what an actual line of credit would do, we can see the difference right off because the interest is automatically lower because you're able to put all of your income into this account every month. So the interest here being at $190 is only $120 here because of that income transfer, but also a line of credit usually has a much lower interest rate than a credit card. So if this credit card's at 16% and this line of credit is at 12%, you can see the obvious difference in the interest charges as well. So with this scenario, he could pay off the $15,000 credit card that he currently has the $600 a month payment on. And when he does the income transfer in, he's going to satisfy any payment that would be due on this line of credit. Again, the interest being approximately $120 a month, his expenses being $4,000, which again is his rent and all of the living expenses that he currently has, and then the additional credit card payments now, minus the one he had on this $15,000 credit card, is $1,200 a month. So that will be coming out, of course, throughout the month, bringing his balance back up to $14,320. Income for month 2 goes in at $6,000, bringing the balance down to $8,320. Expenses come out again, credit card payments come out again, and there's the interest again. Notice it's a little bit lower. It keeps going down because this balance keeps going down. That means that you are just putting more of your hard-earned money towards the principal on the line of credit instead of just paying junk to the bank. The balance would be approximately $13,634. Month 3, that income goes in again, bringing it down to $76.34. The expenses, and look here, we can pay off cards number 2 and 4, which stand at $1,100 and $1,200, right? So we're going to pay that off. That's going to gain us that cash flow, which means that the credit card payments came down to $925 a month instead of the $1,200 payments that they were up here. The interest, look here, is lower, $107, because we have reduced the balance on this account. Now that we've added in some more debt, of course, it's going to be a little higher in the coming month, bringing the balance back up to $14,966. Month 6, the income goes in, bringing that balance down to $89.66. The living expenses again come out at $4,000. The credit card payments will come out again at $925, and then the interest is going to be a little higher this month because we added back into that balance, right? So the balance now is at $14,011. Month 5, income goes in, bringing the balance down to $8,011. All of the expenses together now I added in. So the $4,000 living expenses plus the $925 due in credit card payments is in the $49.25. Then the interest is going to come back out. In month 6, the income goes in, the expenses and the interest come out again. Month 7, income in, bringing the balance down to $6,073. Now look here, we can pay $2,080 on credit card number 5. So we're going to pay that off, gaining the $200 a month in credit card payment he was making there. And we're going to throw $1,000 onto this big one of $4,000, knocking that balance down a little bit and gaining us a little bit of cash flow there, bringing the balance back up to $9,153 on this line of credit. We're going to pay the expenses out now at $46.75 because we dropped off some credit card payments again, so it's a little bit lower, right? The interest is lower here because we're working the balance down, and we're back up to $13,923. In month 8, the income is going to go in, bringing the balance down to $79.23. The expenses and the interest will come back out. Month 9, same thing, income in, but we've got enough room to pay $3,000 on credit card number 3, which means we pay this off and we gain that $350 in cash flow completely. So that's going to make our expenses lower here. We're going to pay $43.75 now in total expenses for the month, with the interest being around $97, bringing the total back up to $14,180. Month 10, income goes in, expenses and interest come out. Month 11, income goes in. I ran out of board. So what does that mean? That means that he can go ahead and pick up this 0% credit card here just so he beats the date on the payoff there. That promotion is going to end within the year, so we would definitely want to throw that in as well. But what does that mean for his total payoff even when he throws in this card number 7? In approximately 20 months, he is going to be completely out of the credit card debt, including having this line of credit paid off as well. Do you see the difference that it makes when you're using your credit card as a line of credit instead of just getting a personal line of credit or a HELOC to actually pay down the debt as you go? This person is going to be completely out of the credit card debt within 20 months. Right now, at a $200 cash flow, he's probably looking at 20 years for a payoff, right? So it's important that we rearrange our finances a little bit so that we can get our money to where it's going into accounts that are actually serving us by knocking off that interest, him paying the $190 a month that he was here, that's a lot of money being thrown out to a bank when you're getting nothing back for it. But we can use the same bank, get a personal line of credit, and pay off all the debt within 2 years compared to letting it just sit here and gain all of this interest. Now remember, these credit cards are gaining interest every month they sit here, and these payments are just barely knocking down that principal. So when you are using a line of credit to actually pay off the card, you're not only just paying off the card, you're literally saving yourselves hundreds of dollars, maybe thousands of dollars a year in credit card interest. So that is very important when you're transferring into a line, because you're cutting off that high interest and you're getting into a lower interest, which in this case was about 12%. So I hope that this has made sense for you. I hope that it's given you a little idea of how quickly we can move through credit card debt when we're using a personal line of credit to actually transfer that debt into a new line, paying it off, stopping the interest, and starting to work down that balance. The point is to get out of debt, not to make monthly payments. The monthly payments are stealing our wealth. Paying off debt not only frees us from years of payments, but it gives us the financial peace because we're in control of our debt and we know exactly what we're doing with it now. Right now, he's just paying payments. And he feels like it's going to go on forever, because it probably is, right? So know your numbers, look them over, make sure that you know exactly what is coming into your home every month and what is going out. Then you can have a realistic view of what you need to do. What do you need to transfer out of one account and put into another? Do you have loans? Is it going to help to transfer the loans into a line? Probably. Those are questions that you need to ask yourself. You need to review the videos and you need to know what it is that you can do that is going to free up some cash flow and help you to start working down the balances of your accounts much faster than you ever thought was possible. I hope you guys have a great week. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope to see you in the next video.